Welcome back to Freaked Out with your psychic medium host, Liz, and that is me. Today, we are covering part 2 of Life After Death. And this is in relation to reincarnation. So a lot of you guys have asked me questions over the years. I figured let's put a full video into it because there's a lot to talk about. I do want to mention that next week we will be doing a Diddy episode, maybe a couple of Diddy episodes, and I also plan to do something Illuminati related as well, so expect to see all of that. So just an FYI, the episode for the Illuminati will be on the exclusive side. You do have to be a member to view it. So there are many videos on YouTube showing you how to go about becoming members for people's channels. A lot of you guys had a lot of questions, so I wrote them all down. We're going to go through them one by one. Is reincarnation real? Whether there's any truth behind it or not. And yes, reincarnation is real. And it doesn't happen instantaneously. Not for everyone anyway, but we'll explain that as we carry on. This is something I've believed in for years. It was one of the first things that came to me back in the day when I started doing readings almost 20 years ago. Maybe a little bit more than 20 years ago now. Now, do we have life contracts? The answer to that is yes. Yes, we do. Now, they aren't completely set in stone. There is give and take on it, but it's like an outline per se. If you are a brand spanking new spirit, since the world is really overpopulated, there are many new spirits that have come along as well. They don't really know where to put you. So you'll get a life which will have good and bad balance in it, in the sense of not too poor, not too rich, to see what you'll do with it. At first, we start off though with plant life. This is a fairly quick journey. Now it depends. If you're one of those exotic plants that are around for years on end, or trees, then no, you're going to be around for quite some time. And some people choose to do that. Some spirits do. So when people are like, oh my gosh, trees don't have spirits, yes, they do. And they feel pain. And I know for me, when I touch a tree, I can feel its life and even the lives before in the past. And again, of course, it'll all be tree-like. Now, can we go up there and then be a human, come back and want to be a plant again? You can. You can absolutely do that. It's not something that happens often, but it does happen. People will then usually graduate from plants to animals, and you can be any animal you want to be. You can be a polar bear, you can be a kangaroo, you can be a dog, you can be a cat, whatever the case may be. And you can do this as many times as you want as well. A lot of energy, a lot of spirits tend to stick to the animal side of things for quite some time, just so they get the hang of humans and how they interact, which is another reason why a lot of people pick dogs and cats, because they're usually the ones closest to humans. Now, I did want to go back for a moment. Plants can feel, hear, be emotional. They can spread joy and they can be angry as well. And they communicate with each other through their roots. It's really neat. And of course, other planted trees and trees that are nearby, they can communicate with too. And yes, that even means cactus or cacti. Trees and plants do carry a lot of emotional turmoil because people are not very nice to them. And you can also be like insects as well. Like, I would never want to be an ant because people are stepping on them like crazy. I can only imagine how they look at us. One day I am going to do deep dives into animals and what they feel and how they feel. People ask me usually like, how much time, how many lives do animals and spirits, how many lives do people come back for when it comes to like the animal side of things? And it really depends on you, but as a bulk majority, about 6 or 7 times they'll come back. And just an FYI, for those of you who have spirit animals, that normally represents an animal that you once were. So if you have a connection to an elephant or an owl or whatever the case may be. That animal is your spirit animal for a reason. We'll get into figuring out who your spirit animal is if you'd like. Let me know in the comments and how to go about figuring that part out. Now, once you're done with all of the animals and trees and the plant life, you can move on to being a person. Now, here's the cool part. You can be a human, or you can be an alien, or you can be someone from a totally different planet. It truly depends on you. To be honest, why we keep coming back to this earth, I'll never know. Now, as we all know, life is very complicated, and that's why they want to prepare you to make sure you understand what you're getting yourself into. A human life is not an easy one. And I don't want to say we get rated, but basically they throw us in the mix and see how well we land. And sometimes some of us do exceptionally well, while others fail to do so. You might be middle rich, I'd say. Not too poor, but not too rich either. You can see this in people's dynamic and demeanor. For instance, somebody who can easily walk in other people's shoes and have empathy for others, that normally means that that person has already had past lives, have walked in other people's shoes, where there are people that can't look past themselves. They're pretty new and also will be scolded when they get up there. And truly, depending on what you do, if you decide to be a dirtbag human, racist, homophobic, rapist, pedophile, if all of those things are true and they happen in your life, when you come back and want to start a new life, they're going to give you a much darker, heavier life to deal with. In that moment, you also need to try and prove that you can still be a good human being when they bring you to that life. It's your choice to make that change. For example, if you were born as a pedophile, and I don't know why anyone would choose this option, this is more for those spirits that, let me give you an example. Osama bin Laden. Osama, when going up there, yes, he's probably going to go to the bad place. But once his sentence is done, and that can be years and years and years later, he will then be put back on a panel to have a life given to him. They may make him become a pedophile. They might put that person as a pedophile, and you have to avoid those urges, not go after children, and show the higher power that you could do it without falling into these dark and evil and twisted paths. So if you make good choices in your life, expect your life to have a better outcome the next time you want to come back. And to answer that question, no, you do not need to come back. Most do, though, because there are a lot of lessons to be learned. That is basically the main reason why life exists, to improve ourselves, to make ourselves more knowledgeable, wise beyond our years. There is some sort of reward up there if you in fact do follow along and have and be a genuinely good person and not fall into anything psychotic. And that doesn't reference being gay, being asexual, or a furry. None of those things are what are bad, and people like to drive that narrative, and those people, well, good luck next time. You may end up walking in a trans man's shoes one day. Now, what carries over from one life to the next? The good news is that I do see that our personalities still shine through. Our energy is the same in that sense. We just become more humble, or not. Our memories do not stick with us. Our genders do not stick with us. We may be given glimpses like dreams or past life inquiries to get that information. And sometimes our children will be born, and when we're new, like when we're born into the world, a new life, our kids are the closest to having those memories, and some of them do, and they know things from their past life. But as they grow, probably around 5, 6, maybe even just a little older, those memories seem to fade away. Now, why don't we remember our past lives? Again, a very good question. We are not supposed to remember our past lives because it will cause us to not reflect on this current life. We're not supposed to know any of this information. Like, we technically are getting little images here and there, but in reality, as a human, we're supposed to come to Earth, figure out our shit, and then die. We're not supposed to figure out that this is a life from another life. And yeah, we do, and we've known things, and eventually one day, not anytime soon, but I do see that we will have glimpses into the future that will show us even more from what is on the other side. Something tells me that not now, of course, and not even 100 years from now, maybe not even 1,000 years from now, there will be a bridge where people that are alive and people that have passed on will be able to have a relationship. It's something in the works, but again, it's going to be a long, 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 long way out. And the human world have to be accepting. Look at where we are. Look at where we are in life right now. We are not very accepting of anything outside of our little boxes. So we've got to get to a much better place as humankind to get that. And that's why I don't think it'll happen for years and years and years on end, because generations instill race issues, generations instill hate, jealousy. All of these things are big reasons why we don't have that bridge. And it's a shame, really. We could have access to the people that have passed on if we were just better humans. When it comes to life selection, karma will definitely play a factor. The worse you do, the worse kind of life you're going to get. You have a choice, though. You'll be like, okay, would you like to be a child with cancer? Or would you like to be, somebody who gets hit by a car? Would you like to be this, that, and the other? Like, you've got a list of things you can choose from, and you'll make that choice. I'm only using the kids with cancer references because a lot of people have asked me, like, why are children born with cancer? And this is exactly why. Not that their little lives are bad, because children are not born bad. Spirit that doesn't have knowledge or understand or empathy, you're going to really learn that very quickly with a child with cancer. For me, I know that would fix me right up. I don't know about you. Karma is a big piece, though, at death. Karma, when you die, so if you've killed people, if you are a serial unaliver and going out into the world, murdering many, many different people, you are going to get a severe punishment. They mirror your abuse. So if you killed people, you're going to be killed consistently in hell. And hell, there is no time there. It is just a dark, dingy cave, really. And people are basically there to receive the punishments that they had. And it is a bad place. If we thought prison was bad or jail was bad, or this is way, way, way worse than that. And you feel pain, you feel death, and they do not stop. And this goes on for a long time until they feel like you're ready to go to the next phases. And I'll be honest, in my lifetime, I have never sensed a bad spirit. For instance, I know everyone thinks Brian Laundrie is still alive. He is not. He is there. One of the most recent pickups that I've had. So when it kind of like the movie Ghost, people get picked up and taken away. You don't know when it's going to happen. Some spirits get to fly around a lot longer because they have to figure out how they're going to handle you and deal with you. But Brian Laundrie was picked up, and I don't think he's going to get out of hell, at least for my lifetime, my daughter's lifetime, and even grandkids that I may or may not have lifetime. So it's a long time that they're there. Here's another question. How many lives do we have, and do we run out? The answer is no, we don't run out, and we can have as many as we want. There is no max number. It is genuinely up to you. Some of us don't ever come back. It's rare because we need that drama, I guess, that, ability to help others or whatever the case may be. Life, although it doesn't feel that way, is truly a gift. And a lot of people, when we get back up there, look at it that way. And just an FYI, if you do go into one life, you may not have that same life later on. A lot of people ask me if our relatives come with us, if people that are attached to us. Absolutely. Our soulmates, our soul children, our parents, if we get along well with them, yes, they're going to be with us. But it doesn't always happen. Some spirits decide not to do it, or they've taken a break, or whatever the case may be. For instance, let's just say Landon decided he didn't want to come back and I went back. My soulmate would not be there. So he would be back, and I would be living my life and he'd be here. You know what I mean? So every person's experience is different, but I'll come back later on. Now, the other question is do we reincarnate with the same people? And I know I referenced already the family side of things. I'm more so looking at acquaintances and soul connections and soul relationships. It's only those people that you are absolutely drawn to, and animals too, I might add. Those animals, like there's always one dog or one cat or one animal that you've just been so attached to your whole life. They may come back to you in the meantime, but you guys will be reincarnated together. And they usually wait unless you want them back. They will wait up there for you until everybody that you love is up there. Everyone will wait for each other and then head back. And some spirits think that life is kind of like a vacation, like a big vacation. Because when you get up there, you have all the answers to everything. And although knowledge is power and it's great to know all these things, we want to experience a lot of different things. We can fly and travel and visit our people, or have peace, have land, have relaxation, not worry about bills, not worry about stress in that way. But as humans, we enjoy the chaos, ironically enough. Now, when we die again, can our past life memories come back? And the answer is yes. Our past life memories absolutely can come back to us. They will. As soon as we die, we'll start to remember the life that we just had. And then from there, as time progresses, maybe over a couple of months after we've figured out all of the ins and outs of dying, then we'll start to remember things from the past. And when we meet people, it'll be like, oh, hey, Susie, I remember you. We will know exactly who we are and what we are, and everyone has some sort of title up there as well. You can be somebody with a really cool job, like you can be a Grim Reaper. You can be someone who saves children. You can be a fallen angel. We'll talk about that in another video. You can be somebody who is a spirit guide for other people. The spirit guide job is a long one and it's a difficult one. I highly recommend, if you're going to go into that direction, it's a tough one. I wouldn't recommend it. But anyways, a lot of people like to be guides. And sometimes people go on, like for instance, a pope, a good pope, not the crazy shit that's happened in the world, but somebody that has had a genuine life and has done a lot of good for the humankind will have some sort of beautiful like ceremony coming in, and it's just a beautiful situation. Genuinely good people will make some genuinely cool jobs up there. So if kids die, there's always a spirit there, whether it is familiar or not familiar. If you ever watched the movie Pinocchio, when that fairy came to Pinocchio to help him, it's kind of like that, really. They'll come and prevent you from feeling any sort of pain and take you away from it. So if there is any sort of car accidents or just accidents in general, children are usually able to avoid that pain because those spirits come to take them away because of their innocence. It is not done in an evil way and never will be. And another question people ask me is, what is the point? What is the point of reincarnation? Why do we do it? Why do we have it? Why do we keep coming back? What is it? Like, I don't get it. We are souls. and we need to learn everything. And we cannot be our true higher power unless we go through these experiences. For instance, I am not a rich person. I don't know what it's like to walk in somebody's shoes that have made money in the past. And that is something that perhaps maybe my next life might want to experience, or even this life, who knows? But it is something that you can experience. Or if you're someone who wants to be like an actor or an actress or famous, or you want to be a singer or a dancer, like I love and always am so obsessed with dancers and dancers. I love watching people dance. I've always had a connection to it. I know personally I cannot dance for shit, but I see myself being able to dance in these spectacular ways. I don't know why. It could be from a past life. It could be from something I want in the future. But I know for a fact that that is something I would most likely be like, okay, next time I'm coming in as a dancer. Kind of like playing The Sims. You get to go in there and experience all different types of jobs. And, you know, there's a higher power making us do all of these things. It's kind of very interesting that we kind of, people ask all the time, like, do we live in a simulation? Not in the sense that we think we do, but technically, yes, to a degree we are. We die, come back, die, come back, die, come back. You know, it's kind of that vibe. And then once we're done our reincarnation stage, what happens next? Most of the time, people just get tired of living. They don't want to do it anymore. They've known enough. They've got a lot. They know enough knowledge. They've got enough knowledge. They end up obtaining some higher power position, a heavenly council. It could be anything. I don't even know the extent of what is up there because I don't understand it or have that much information on it. But it is a beautiful thing, and we will not be regretful. Some people want to just die and stay gone. They don't want to carry on. And there's an option for that too. You can die and choose to just go silent, dark, if you choose, to remove your energy from the world in general. And some people choose to do that as well. Not everyone, but some do. Of course, everyone always asks me this: is there a higher power, and is there a specific religion associated with it? The higher power does not want to be praised. They don't feel the need for that. They just want us to be kind human beings and not to hide behind religious stances. And although certain religions have certain things, they all may be true. Every aspect, in the sense of, like, you know, you do this, you get this. You do this, you get this. It's very possible. I can't speak on it because I was born and raised a Catholic side, and if I'm going to be totally honest, about 90% of the things on the Catholic side of religion is not part of it. So I can't speak on other religions. A lot of people connect to religion so that they feel like they're going to be okay when they get up there. And although that may be true, some genuinely devout people that are actually good, not people that pretend that they're good behind religion, can have advances for being a good person and can make some really special things happen for themselves. But again, it's far and few between. All religions have some sort of connection up there, and everyone treats everyone equally. There is not a better religion, a better person. It's actually quite strange. Our lives up there are very, very different than our lives down here. We might be angry up there for things that are happening down here, but we don't have any hate or anger or anything angry in the sense of what's going on up there. And we have empathy for those on Earth. But those are all of your questions for me on this topic today. I appreciate you guys being here so much. I know I've taken a bit of a break on doing unsolved cases for a bit, but there's a reason for it. I will be dropping a Chiron Hormone episode in the next few weeks explaining why. I had a very scary thing happen with one of my visions doing a revamping of that episode. I need a little break on cases, but I'm going to keep talking about Diddy. I'm going to talk about Illuminati stuff. We're going to open up the doors for all of these things for the time being while I take a little break on unsolved cases. But until next time, guys, stay freaked out.